Well, today I'm going to add some, I'm going to call them plate rails in the kitchen area of my G&J Lines number 37. Some G&J Lines dollhouses have picture rails that go around the top of the room so that you can hang pictures. I'm going to be using this wood to make kind of like a little shelf that's going to go all the way around my kitchen. And I'll explain in a little bit how I got this wood. So, but basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be. Do you see the top there? Do you see how it has a plate rail that goes all the way around the room in Kevin's G&J Lines house? This is a different Lines house that he owns. I'm just kind of doing that sort of thing with mine. You can see another sample of another house that Kevin owns that also has the little plate rail that goes all the way around the top of the room. Well, I'm going to be doing something similar, but I'm going to be using this other wood that I found here. So this wood used to be, 1970s paneling that was in my basement, and for some reason I kept this little scrap of this, and so I used the miter saw and I cut it, and it actually fits the around the room perfectly. And I only had 3 inches left over, so I was glad that it worked out, because otherwise I would have had to go to the hardware store and get some more. I am kind of contemplating whether or not I'm going to use those little round strips of wood to prevent things from falling off of the little shelf. And you can see here, like, I've got an awful lot of pottery and little plates and stuff. So I think it's like really a necessity to have this all the way around this room. Now, I do recognize that it isn't actually authentic when it comes to this restoration. However, I don't plan on selling this house. If I was restoring this house to sell it, I would not do this to it. But because I plan on keeping this house forever, I am going to be making this into a permanent fixture. So, and that's only because it suits my needs like absolutely perfectly. I'm painting it with the antique white paint, which is the same paint that I used on the exterior of the house. And after this paint is dry, I am planning on putting some lace. I'm going to glue some lace to it underneath the shelf. And after the glue is dry on the lace, that I'm going to paint over that. And I think that'll just add like a nice architectural detail to make it look a little bit nicer than just this plain 1970s wood trim. And you can see I'm not going to be painting the back of it because it will be glued permanently onto the wall. So yeah, so that's what I plan on doing. So I'm only doing this just in the kitchen. And the reason why I'm doing that again is because I have lots of little dishes and things that I'd like to display that I wouldn't be able to display otherwise. So the room that I'm choosing to use as my kitchen is actually the one on the main floor on the right side, which is the smaller of the two rooms. So I'm quite pleased and happy to do this to my dollhouse, although it may not be a choice that you would make in yours, because it is not authentic. So it shouldn't really be there, but yeah, it pleases me, and I plan on keeping this house, so I'm going to be pretty happy. We'll get back to you after the paint dries now.
Greetings, Dollhouse lovers. It's Dollhouse Fixer here. And today we're going to make 2 more of these fireplaces. I'm too short for the DH37, so I've selected these 2 pieces of wood to try and make some from. So we've got a piece of pine floorboard, which is the right thickness, and some plywood, which should do nicely. So now the fireplaces are now all sanded down and ready for painting. They'll have the first coat of ivory white, and then it will be red circles that denote the actual fire glow, over which the kind of thermometer gratings, that is what they are, grates, will be put on. So that's all fireplaces made for mine now. So I've just got to paint, sand, dress them up, and put the grates on, which are like thermometer bowl protection thingies. And I've also got the first piece of furniture in there, Lisa, which I believe is period. So hopefully there'll be some more similar, but all things coming good. Quite pleased with the day. And today we're doing the rest of the fireplaces, so nearly complete with this now. So I've painted all of the fireplaces and the red dots that should be in there for the fire glow underneath the grating, and I decided that I would put the other blind in the big window. Other pictures show it there, so there it is.
What Kevin meant by that is, here's a photograph of what the blinds are supposed to look like. So it's a paper blind that actually goes inside of the window. So he decided to put one in the larger of the windows.
So I've now built 4 basic fireplaces. Well, 2 were original, which I've restored, and built another 2. Which I've now offered up to the DH37. I still need to get one of the gratings. I've got 3 out of 4, so looking to get another one. I haven't resolved that yet, but I will.
In the meantime, I thought I'd share with you what I've been up to this past week. I've been working on this little carpet that I plan on putting in my number 37. So I don't know how much I enjoy doing this kind of needlework. It's quite painstaking, and I'm not terribly great at it. But it was fun, and at least I got it pretty much done anyways. So I'm also going to share with you after this some other work that Kevin does. His other hobby is restoring jukeboxes, and I think it's quite fascinating, so I thought I'd share that with you also.
Okay, so the other thing I've been doing today, which is my other hobby, is trying to make this Wurlitzer 600 work, and that cam at the back was missing altogether, so I had to get all this off and replace it all, and then tease it all back together, finding out what should have been there and why and how, and also all of the coin mech up there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch it on, and you'll see basically what it does, but I've got no records in it at the moment. But you really got to be able to understand how things work to be able to get all this in one place. I'll just take that off a minute, because it'll squeak. Well, there's no needle in and no record on. So if I now cancel it, so I'll now show you what happens when it cancels. Basically the record comes across here, knocks that lever down, well, the arm causes that, and then it goes back in the stack and then selects another record. So that's basic idea of the simplex system. It goes in the turntable again, because I've got no records in it at the moment. So we'll let that cancel down again. So there's still plenty to do on this jukebox yet to tidy it all up, but basically I've completely rebuilt it nut and bolts. I've refinished all the cabinet, put all the plastics back in, and then so on and so forth. But it's nearly finished now, so very shortly, when I've finished all the bits and pieces, I'll be able to put a coin in it and show it you playing, and a lovely sound it will be too. And this is basically what I've been doing for 30 years.
Now I've gone downstairs in my lace stash, and this is the lace that I came up with that I'm going to be using on the bottom part of the shelf just to kind of dress it up. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue that on, and then once the glue is dried, I'll do the second coat on this little shelf, and that'll just add a little bit of architectural detail to it. I think it'll look much nicer than just putting on the plain wood. So I got out the trusty tacky glue, and I've just glued these pieces of lace on. As you can see, I have not trimmed them. I won't trim them until they're dry. And then I'll just go over it with a second coat of paint. And it doesn't look like 1970s paneling anymore. Looks a little bit nicer, and I think it'll look pretty good once it's hung up inside of the dollhouse. So I'm pretty pleased. I think this lace will work well. Okay, it's the next morning now, and I've got things trimmed up a little bit. So I'm just going to be fitting it into the room to see how it looks, and then hopefully gluing it in. So you can see here, I'm trying to fit it in upside down. There you go. So that's basically how it's going to look, but I want it on the top half of the room, and just got to make sure that everything fits properly. And then I'll get out the trusty tacky glue, and I'm going to be gluing it in. So that's what it looks like. That's the final. I do have to paint those little front pieces, but I won't do that until the glue is completely dried. So you can see it is slightly different than the plate racks that do come in the G&J dollhouses. However, it's not that far off. So, and it will give me the ability to display some of my tiny plates and things around the room. So you can see here, I just shoved a couple of my pieces of pottery in the back just to kind of give you an idea of what it is that I'm trying to achieve. And I think that's going to work really well, and I'm certainly pleased with it. If you enjoyed today's video and would like to help support my channel, you can do so by buying me a coffee. Just go to www.buymeacoffee.com/Lisa I'd like to thank everyone that has helped to support my channel by going to buymeacoffee.com. It's appreciated more than you know. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. It's free to do so, and it really does help my channel grow. Also, please hit that notification bell, and then that way you'll know every time I upload a new video. And I love reading your comments. So I have a comment of my own. Oh my goodness, Kevin, you are one talented guy. No wonder you find this dollhouse restoration stuff so easy. I mean, when you can do restoration on jukeboxes at the level that you do, that's that's a whole nother level. What a beautiful, beautiful piece of equipment you're restoring. That's just absolutely amazing. Well, once again, everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Still waiting to get my windows done. Hopefully they'll be ready one day this week. That would be really super cool. And then, of course, I've got to paint them. Well, once again, everyone, have the best day ever, and thanks for watching.